You a business owner looking to secure your financial future and create a lasting legacy? I'm Leah Garcia, a financial strategist and insurance professional, and I specialize in guiding businesses with up to 50 employees on how to effectively protect and transfer their wealth. We break down silos with my unique approach, the Wall of Wealth. Imagine a seamless collaboration among your CPA, tax attorney, estate planner, and insurance expert, each playing their part in perfect harmony, ensuring your financial strategy is not just effective, but a true masterpiece. My passion stems from my own journey, from growing up on food stamps to dreaming of building community centers that empower others. Together, we'll craft a roadmap that not only safeguards your assets, but also nurtures generational wealth for your loved ones. Let's transform your vision into reality. After all, you can't measure the heart of a champion just by looking at them. Join me, and let's make your financial future shine.
And we are live. Welcome to this edition of Wealthy Wednesday. I am so excited. Today is going to be fire. We're going to talk about going from disability to ability, how to flip the script. And like my good friend, Miss Noni Baroni says, how to flip the script and do a cartwheel. So today, my guest speaker, I feel like needs no introduction, and I am going to attempt to introduce him, although he probably could introduce himself much better. I've actually watched this gentleman completely transform himself by social media. You know, when we first met, he told me his story, and it was something that he was still really processing. And over the course of the past couple of years, I've really watched him flip the script. And now, not only is he telling his story, but he's on a crusade to help empower and teach teens and help them to save lives, right? Because distracted driving is a big, big deal. It's something that a lot of people, we talk about teens, but it's really all of us could be distracted, right? And so he's on a crusade to help to save teen lives by educating. And not only is he sharing his story, he's sharing his story on social media. He hosts many events himself, many podcasts. He is also now a published author. Think about that. Going from not really feeling like you had a story, not really feeling comfortable telling your story, to now on a crusade to help others and telling his story, not just to other people, but even in an established author. I think that's a big, big deal. I call that flipping the script. So without further ado, please give it up and give a warm welcome to my guest speaker, the Ability Ambassador, Chris Monestere. Take it away, Chris.
Hey, Miss Leah, I'm lost right now. I got the book out, and in the book, it's got the story. I was trying to get it, what was published,
okay.
And I can't find it.
That's okay. That's okay. Take your time. We have some people that have joined us, so you take your time and you do whatever you need. It's totally fine. Everybody is here for you. Everybody's cheering for you. You've got a lot of people that are here rooting for you. You take all the time you need and find what you want to share. So we have Michael joined us. Thank you for joining us, Michael. And we have, oh my goodness, we have Noni Baroni in the house. Thank you so much for joining us, Miss Noni. We appreciate you. And she does host Friday Sing Your Heart Out. And I love that. It's a time when we could get together, sing, share poetry, or just have a few laughs. And so if you would like to have a nice, relaxing Friday, please join Miss Noni, and I'm usually there too, for Sing Your Heart Out on Friday. That's right. We flip the script and do a cartwheel. That's one of my favorite quotes. I absolutely love that quote. And then we have my good friend, Miss Christine. Thank you for joining us. She actually has a lot of
things. Get these words done right. Why you?
Okay.
Go ahead.
You
I'm
found,
sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Miss Leah.
oh, that's okay. Did you find what you were looking for?
Yeah, I got the thing that was wrote in the book. I got it in front of me. I think I do
Okay.
now. Yeah. It
And we have
starts.
Miss Cherry Berry joining us. Aloha, Miss Cherry Berry. Thank you for joining us. She's actually my Aloha sister. I was born in Hawaii, and when I was little, I thought that meant I was Hawaiian. So I used to tell everybody that I was Hawaiian until I was probably about 7 years old. And then my mom overheard me. She's like, Leah, you're not Hawaiian. But I didn't know. Okay. I was a little kid. I didn't know. So, Chris, are you prepared now? Are you ready to share what you wanted to share?
I think I got it. It's in the book called Healing Higher for Calling the Advocacy of the Healer. It's what it's
Okay.
called in the book. And let me bring it up. And the story is this is the book is out, Miss Leah. The book came out yesterday, and it's gonna have everything in it. And it says the book is it's got Chris Monestere at Saving Teen Lives, and it says I could hear the light. I could hear them laughing and woo at the last I was alive, but when I saw them pointing at me, naked me with a broken neck, laying on a hospital gurney, laughing at me and an erection I couldn't hide, but I wanted to die. Damaged spinal cord, damaged spine, my body do embracive things. I couldn't help it in the ER. Nurses should have known better. I'm not one to talk, though. My dad drag race make sure I knew better for years before the day I wrapped my 1970 Al Camino around a pine tree. All I did was look down to change the radio station. When I looked up, I was headed straight for power lines. I swerved to miss it. I put my foot back. Uh, Power lines. I'm trying to see what I got here. I didn't serve. I swerved to miss it and put back on into the road that my foot slipped off the brake and it hit the gas pedal. Wasn't something anyone could have expected. Have expected. This seemed sent my car across the road. The rest is history. Accident happens. Life changes in millions of seconds of a small distraction. You see, after graduating high school in August of 1977, I was all ready to start Army boot camp on December the 18th. But the night before, December the 17th, every dream we ever had about my future into a nightmare. My parents closed the auto repair shop to sit by my side long long as it took during those 8 months in the hospital. I died twice. One time I came back to life, and then they were filling out my death certificate. I looked up to see my mom standing right there crying uncontrollable. Why did Why did you care? Because a parent, you can imagine they what that would be like. My whole life purpose, my mission is to keep you from ever having to go through any of this. We both know it takes a strong kid to tell his friends, shut up, I'm driving. With your help, they can and will. Talking to young teens is not easy, but nearly I have to take care of them in some capability for the rest of your life. If I simply talk to make you undertake the risk by instead of one one thing on them is driving without distraction. Everybody wins. Drivers under the age of 20 make up the large percentage of distraction drivers. For let me see what it says. For what's that?
Fortunately.
Fortunately, you you can do a lot these days. This minute minimizes the chance you're changing your team and taking behind the wheel. At the end of my story, you will find information about apps parents use. The minor, look, I need something to eat. I'm feeling funny. Uh, Information about apps used to monitor rate how their teenagers are driving. I lost I lost four friends to distraction driving. The drivers survived, but he has to live with killing his own brother and their three friends.
You want another?
Hold up.
Okay, go ahead and take a break there, Chris.
Hold up, Miss
What
Leah.
he's doing is
I'm
he's
having
reading his actual
yeah,
story that's in the book.
I'm
That's
having a
okay.
sugar I'm having a sugar attack. Hold
Yeah,
up.
take your time. Go ahead and take what you need to do. But really, what I want to highlight is think about this. If any of you have been through something and maybe you feel like there's a lesson in it, how many times do we really share that story? Sometimes we feel really ashamed, we feel embarrassed, and we don't want to tell anybody about it. But if we're willing to open up and share that story, you don't know who you could inspire. You don't know whose life you could change. And I love this comment by my good dear friend Miss Chesda. She said, she's always inspired by your story, Chris. God is not done with you yet. Your story needs to go viral. Thank you for your relentless commitment to raising teen driving safety and awareness. I love that because it's about bringing awareness. But think about this. If he didn't have the courage to share his story, then he wouldn't be able to inspire others and bring this education to others. So everybody has a story. Even you, if you're not really on social media or you're somebody you feel like you're more of a supportive cast, you absolutely have a story. And we have many stories. right? We could tell the story of our success, but then I think the better stories are the ones of the ebbs and the flow, the things that maybe didn't go the way that we planned. And what's the lesson that we can glean from that? What's the lesson that we could take away from that? And that's really what Chris has done. He's taken that story that he felt maybe wasn't something to really talk about. And now he flipped the script and he's talking about it all the time. He's sharing that wisdom, sharing that, and helping people to understand that our parents, we got to talk to our kids about distracted driving and talk to our teens about distracted driving and really help them to understand that one little decision, one wrong decision in a moment could transform and change your whole entire life, the whole trajectory of your life. So I'm really grateful, Chris, for you for having this courage to share this, and not only sharing it, but now you're an author. I would like to know, are you okay now?
Yeah, let's try this now. I think so.
Okay.
Go
I
ahead.
would love for you to share with us, because I think when we met, you were just talking about your story. I would love for you to share with us how maybe, let's say, a couple of years ago, you felt about your story. Did you feel like it was something that could teach other people?
Yes, Miss Leah, that was the reason I told the story, was to help parents, because it's talking to parents, because I was that teen that became disabled, and I wanted my story to get out to help you and other parents to be aware and talk to their teens to help them not make that mistake I made, because I made that mistake just to look down at a radio. Now, the biggest distraction is cell phone, and you got other stuff that's happening. And I felt that my story could come out, wanted my story to come out to help parents, and parents that, it's not that it's their kids, but they got grandkids. They got nieces and nephews that are teenagers, that this story can really do. I'm hoping that this story can really make an impact on parents, and parents showing that their children and nieces and nephews, or their grandchildren, that read this story to show what a mistake that I made. It's a mistake because it's distraction, and hoping that this would save teen lives if parents would just read my story and see the statistics. I got everything in the book that'll show the statistics, the data report, and everything. That was the reason I wanted my story out, but I didn't know if anybody would listen. But this is what, 2 years now, and look where we at. I got you that stood behind me. My wife stood behind me.
Yeah.
Margaret, Miss Sherry, Peter, everybody that I have met on Lincoln stood behind me and believed in me. And Lonnie Ray wrote the story, and it's in the book. And that was what I wanted to come out, and it's on Amazon. So, and anybody that reads it or read the ebook would, and please, I'm trying to get y'all to make the recommendation on my story. And there's a review too, like a 5-star review, and that they could click on to review what they think about it. So, what else you need? I think.
Absolutely. People are going to be downloading your book. They're going to be buying your book, and definitely do the 5-star review for sure. So let me ask you, 2 years ago, did you ever think you would be writing a book about your story?
No, ma'am. I never thought I'd ever write a book about my story. And and it, it you, that's a good question because no, because I got a friend at the bank many years ago. She had been uh, telling me to write my story in the book. My wife also was behind me about making the book, but and then Margaret said you need to put your story in a book. Margaret Martinez. Sherry also said you need to put it in the book, but I never thought that would ever happen. I didn't me write a book, really be for real. But God works in mysterious ways. Without God, things can't happen. But Miss Lonnie Ray made that phone call and asked about doing the story and putting it in the book. And I thought about it when she made the phone call, and I said, let's do it. And here it is. It is in a book. And I'm going to buy a copy because uh, my mom don't even know I wrote this book. I didn't write it. Let me put it like this. I didn't write the book. Miss Lonnie Ray wrote the book, and she wrote the story. She put the story in the book. I gave her the story, and she wrote it and put it there. And not only that, there's other co-authors that are in the book, and besides me, but my mom does not know that the story is in a book. And I've been on cloud nine since it came out, Miss Leah.
Yeah.
And uh, like I told Margaret, and I told Miss Lonnie, before I had my accident, I was, on top of the world. I was where I thought I should be. But then
Mhm.
after the accident, everything fell out. Now my story's out. I told Linda and I told Lonnie, I said, y'all just put me back where I started out to be, on
Right.
top of the world. Excuse me. I'm so excited over it. It's been overwhelming. And me and my wife both, we've been having tears. We've been choking up because we see that the story finally came out. And let me just say this. Maybe this might not sound right, but I've been told things before and
Mm.
never seen it happen. It always falls through excuses this or excuses that. And don't get me wrong, when Miss Lonnie called me, I knew she wouldn't do me that, but I just had to be on guard from my heart wise, to be on guard just to make sure. And look, it did happen. And praise God, thank Him for the story is out, and I am overwhelmed now. So glad that it is out. And I
That
got a lot, and thanks for, everybody that was behind me and putting me and pushing me to do this story and putting it in the book.
Yeah, that is so powerful. It really takes all of us. A rising tide raises all boats, but only for boats in the water. And what I mean by that is we have to uplift each other. We have to showcase each other. We have to highlight one another and believe in each other. And that's really why I do this show every week, is because I want to highlight other people. And all of you that join us every week, I really appreciate you. Put in the comments on what you do because somebody is looking for you. And it's about us getting to know one another so that we can support each other. And we're going to take a little quick break here. We've got a word from our sponsor, and then we're going to come back in just a minute.
Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Introducing Leah Garcia's Wall of Wealth, the ultimate one-page financial plan to protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth with confidence. Whether you're a business owner or just starting your financial journey, this step-by-step guide gives you the tools to create a solid foundation for long-term success. Don't wait to transform your money mind shift. Download your free copy today at Leah Garcia. www.wealthywennesday.io and start building your wall of wealth now.
One of the things that I really love so much about you, Chris, is that you are so humble and you always give other people credit. You know, you give Miss Margaret Martinez credit for believing in you, and Miss Lonnie Ray, and all the other people, Miss Cherry Berry, who supported you and believed in you. And I just really love that about you, because a lot of times people don't give that credit.
No,
So go ahead.
no, go ahead. I'm sorry. No, you're right. You're right, Miss Leah, because credit is due where credit belongs, and you know, and y'all know I always say I talk from my heart, and I just believe that when credit is due, that's where it belongs at, and it's not enough people that recognize people that whenever they do something or go out on a limb to do something for you, they don't recognize them, and I just feel it's wrong, and I just had to give credit where credit was. Margaret, you, Peter was part of this, Sherry was part of this, Rashida was part of this, along with my wife and the best friend of ours at the bank, and Miss Shana. Thanks to Miss Shana, because if it had not been for that one room, 1 hour talk that we had,
Right.
I would still be down there listening to everybody talk instead of coming out and talking with her. That 1 hour brought me to where I'm at today, to know that I can express what's on my heart and express what I need to say and not hold it back, you know. And thanks for all of that, because it had not been for her and then you doing the Wall of Wealth. We got the video and now another video. Credit is owed where credit belongs, you know, and that's what. And then thanks to Miss Lonnie, because she's had the story for a long time. And me and Lonnie, I think, gonna make 3 years this year being together and talking. And she's had the story for a long time. And uh, I had told her if she wanted to use it, it didn't matter. And then she called me, made that one phone call. Yes, I might not sound excited to her, but I was excited and I was overwhelmed when she made that phone call, and now here it is. It's out. What more? I mean, you can buy the ebook. I think the ebook is $3.99, and the paperback book is out and it's $7.99. So they're out, and I'm just pleased. You lost a niece
Yeah.
at a young age, and the book can help you and your family, Miss Leah. And you know, I was thinking here the other night, and I had plumb forgot about it. And
Mhm.
my wife, she said, "What you jumping for?" I said, "Well, my grandpa, he's been gone about 10, 15 years now." And I thought about it, and I jumped up. I said, "I lost a cousin. She was 13 years old to an auto accident, and her brother killed her, but it was not his fault. It was not his fault because it was raining, you see, and it was raining, it was foggy, and the car hit them, had no lights on. They didn't see the car. He didn't see the car. That was not his fault. But, he lives with that, but his family blamed him for many, many years because he took his sister's life. Not his mom, but it's just his relatives and all that. And I just think that was wrong because that wasn't his fault. It was not his fault. If the car had been obeying by the law and paying attention and had lights on, they would have seen him. That would have never happened. I just feel it wouldn't have happened, but maybe I'm wrong. But I mean, that's why laws are laws. And that's why I'm trying to get with Sherry and Margaret now. get these things put in bills. I mean, we have cops chasing teens, and this happens, but it needs to stop. I mean, as I was telling Sherry the other night, I forgot about that too. As a young driver, first time you get your driver's license, you try to do the best you can, but you get cops that will jump in behind someone when they read that plate. Oh, that's a new driver. You know what they're doing? I experienced that. I forgot about it until Sherry called when we was talking. I said, Sherry, I know because teens will get scared, they will run, whether I'm not saying they're on the influence or something, but them red lights, as soon as they come on, it distracts a teen and they get scared. And it's just, they run. And it's a shame. That shouldn't happen that way. But it needs to stop. Police chases need to stop because that would save a lot. And that's one of the bills I really want to stress to put out there and get that in that legislature and get it where they they they, they got a better way. They know the way. They know the way, but they pursue not to do the right way. Once you get a plate number, you know where the car is going. If it's stolen, it's going to come up that it's stolen, you know. And it's just a shame. And Ford's got this thing now, 2015. It's in the book. It's in the book. And General Motors got OnStar. They can reduce the speed. My parents can put the key in a car, and there's an app already built into the car, and they can set the car and lock it for 50 mile an hour, 80 mile an hour, whatever speed that the parent want to lock it in. They can lock the car in, and it's locked in. That's all maximum speed. If they lock it at 50, the maximum speed is 50 mile an hour. That's the maximum speed that it would get. And Ford's got it. The chip is in the car. They stick it in there. Once it's running, they go to the app and they download it. And I got several apps that can be put in cars. They put to the ECM, put everything. I mean, there's apps out there. This parents, we need to wake up. We need to wake up. Our children are precious. We're losing teen kids. It's not just your child, but you got a niece, you got a nephew, you got grandkids. Let's wake up. Let's wake up and let's put our kids first. I mean, we putting our kids last because we think our jobs is we need jobs, don't get me wrong. We need jobs. But I just think that, 3 days out of a week for a job to be with your kids is more important than that job is. Our job is important, but I think our children are more important. I mean, what you think?
Yeah, so many great points there. And you've got a lot of support. I want to highlight this comment by Kendra Noel. She owns Boomtag Media. If you're looking to upgrade your social media game, please follow her. She does amazing on LinkedIn, but she also has Instagram. I love her Instagram. She really breaks it down really great. So if you want to up-level your game, please reach out to Kendra. But she says, thanks for sharing, Chris. I have teenagers and they need to know about this. Absolutely. You should absolutely get the book. Read it together, right? Do it together. And also, Nick, she says, it's such a sad story. People often need someone to blame when they're grieving, even if it's wrong. And you're so right, because we're in pain. So we're just trying to rationalize it in our head. I loved so much what you shared is such wisdom. And also, I really want to highlight that for all of us, none
I
of
don't
us.
hear you.
You don't hear me? Can you hear me now? Testing, testing. Can you hear me?
I didn't hear I missed all what you said, Miss Leah.
Okay. So for me, I think it's really important what you're highlighting is that we all need each other. Nobody has success on their own. even the people that are self-made had many people who helped them to make who they are. And so I really love that you give the credit and you acknowledge people. I think that what it does for me is it really inspires me to make sure that I am acknowledging other people, that I am pouring into other people. And you don't know what impact a kind comment can make to somebody. You know, a kind gesture, somebody, maybe they're having a bad day and you open the door for them. You may not think that's a big deal, but that may mean everything to that person. So I would like to know, Chris, what gave you the courage to write this, your story? What gave you the courage to do that?
The courage came because I was that teen, and my wife pushed me behind it. And uh, my wife really was the big pusher in all this, along with my best friend at the bank. Those two were the big pushers behind it all. And just that, like I said, that one talk with Miss Leah, I mean with Miss Shana, that 1 hour talk with her motivated that. And then Margaret and Peter and you and uh, Sherry and Rashida said I needed to do this. And my thing was, who's going to listen? You know, who's going to listen to us? My story, because I was that teen, but I have been proven wrong that people do listen, and it did happen, and it's in the book. And I really, really wish people would go and buy the book and share it with their teen children, not just teens, but there's 12-year-olds that are in cars with teens that do lose their lives or do become disabled. I mean, that's young. That's young, very, very young. I mean, even at a 13-year-old, I lost a cousin just because some car didn't want to have the lights on and it was foggy and raining. But the motivation came from all the people that believed in me. And that's where the credit really goes. It really, it really does, Miss Leah, because it's coming from my heart because all these people believed in me and no, and that's the reason it came out in the book and the phone call. It just took that one phone call, and that was Miss Lonnie. And credit is credit. Credit goes where credit belongs.
I love that. Credit goes where credit belongs. And also, you bring up a great point, which it's not just about us being a distracted driver or a teen be a distracted driver, but getting in the car with somebody who is a distracted driver or somebody that maybe is under the influence in some way. So talking to our kids about those kind of conversations, being aware. If you're a passenger and somebody's text messaging, get out of the car, right? Like Miss Cherryberry, her daughter was in a situation that she didn't feel safe. And she called her, and in the middle of the night, Miss Cherryberry went to go pick up her daughter. Listen, our kids have to feel like they can trust us with those kinds of things. So not just the conversation of not being distracted, but also the conversation of if somebody that you're a passenger with is distracted, then you need to get yourself out of that situation. And that can be very difficult for our teens because it's a lot of peer pressure, right? So if we can really fortify them with the courage to speak up.
You're right. We need to let our
Oh, let's see. There we
uh,
are.
we need to let our children know, like Cherry did. Her daughters are well aware, and Miss Margaret too. They put their kids first. Parents, we need to let our children know that it is okay to call mom and dad, and we can get out of the bed at 1. And it doesn't matter if it's 10 o'clock at night and they're not feeling safe with who they with. Parents, make your children understand that it's okay to call mom and dad, and we're not going to get upset to come get you. That needs to be really done to share. Parents need to really share that with their children, make them understand that mom and dad really do love them, and that we need to call if something doesn't happen. If you're riding with that driver and the driver does not want to listen and you're a passenger, tell the driver, stop. Let me out of the car. I will call my mom or my dad to come get me. Parents, please stress that to your kids because this can save a child. You don't want to get that phone call
No.
from a police officer that your child has been involved in an accident. And I'm just saying, you might be lucky. You might be a lucky parent that your child didn't get injured and walked away. But you might be that parent like my mom and dad was, or like you, Miss Leah, that
Yeah.
your child was deceased in this accident, or get that call your son or your daughter was in a serious accident and they may be permanently injured for the rest of their life. You don't want to get that phone call. Parents, I stress this. Please put your kids first. Please understand and talk to them. Do mom and dad time together with children. Parents, we need to get back and touch with our teenagers. It's not just the, getting out of high school. You got 12 and 13-year-olds that are in that age group that are riding. Let's let them know, show them how much we love them, and let's bring it together.
That's so profound. There's really nothing I could add to that. I mean, it really is about having the conversation, open up that dialogue. And I shared this on your event when I talked about my niece who was with a driver who was impaired and she passed away in that accident. And it's not just saying, let's sit down and have a conversation. It is that conversation throughout the day, finding little ways to open up that dialogue and doing things that interest them. Maybe they help you cook. Maybe we sit and read a book together. Maybe we just, go on out in the garden. So finding ways to interact with our kids, and you would be amazed on what kind of dialogue opens up by just these everyday events. That's really, to me, where those deeper conversations happen. My precious grandson is 6 years old, and I will tell you that we were playing Play-Doh this weekend because he wasn't feeling well. And we're doing Play-Doh and we're making things, and he's just come up with all this random stuff, because we're sitting there having this interaction. So I love the awareness that you're bringing. And I would ask you, Chris, if somebody feels like they have a story they would love to share to help other people, what encouragement would you give them?
If it can help, please share it. Please share it because that can save someone's life. You know, it can actually save someone's life. Open a parent's eyes. Let's please. If you have a story and it resonates, let's share it because that's what we need to do. We can't change the world, but we can change the people in the world. We can change families in the world. We need to start coming from the heart. That's what we need to do. So if you got a story and it resonates and it can help, please, I've said it, change it. Let's share it. You know, I said it all the time. I've been on Lincoln. I've posted. My phone, my DMs are always open around the clock. Talk, need to venture. Y'all can call me anytime. I promise you. I will answer and I will be there. Anything I can do to help, I will do it. That's me. That's who I am. And I'm on top of this world because my story is out and I can look past it. I can look past my accident now and move forward.
Wow. Thank you for sharing your whole heart. We appreciate you so much, Chris. I appreciate your courage. I appreciate your humility. And I appreciate your willingness to flip the script. You could have sat there with this story and just continued to not share it and kind of beat yourself up about it. But now look at, really, for me, I think it's part of the healing process. As you're sharing it and you're empowering other people and encouraging other people to have these conversations with their young children and their teens, you could feel some sort of gratitude for what happened to you. Not meaning that you're grateful that this happened, but just that there's something that good that can come out of it. You know, in every adversity, there's a seed of a benefit, but only if we look for it. We got a lot of comments. Listen, you've got a lot of love here, Chris. I would love for all of you to put who you are and what you do. Someone is looking for you. You know, a lot of times people on social media don't want other people to highlight themselves. For me, this is part of the networking. You in the comments, you showing up, Bez, thank you. I appreciate you. I see you. I love all your comments. Nicole, Nick, thank you for joining us. So whatever you do, put your comments, share your Instagram handle, share your LinkedIn. Maybe you have a book, maybe you have an idea, maybe you're looking for somebody. Who are you looking for? And put it in the comments, because people will read this afterwards and maybe they're going to connect with you. And also, please connect with each other. Well, this is going to kind of wind us down here. Do you have any last words, anything that you'd like to share before we kind of wind it up here, Chris?
Just, my story's out, and now it will be a legacy out there, and I can move past it, and it won't go to the grave with me now, Miss Leah. And, you know, that's where I say is, please buy the book. Please, parents, share it with your teens. Read it with your teen children, even if you're 12 years old. Read it. Let them see what's happening, and open your eyes, parents, and let's get control. That's what I want them to do, is get control. Before they hand the keys, you can Google it. Go to Google, and search and see the statistics. It's in my book. Before you hand the keys, really sit down and have that talk with your children before they get behind that wheel, and make them understand. That's what I want to leave with. Parents, don't hand keys to your children until you make them aware of what the danger is, and not to be distracted, you know. And and uh that's what I want to leave it with. And we need the schools to have a program that will teach kids about distraction and the respect of automobiles, because they used to have driver's ed, and they took it out of the schools, and it needs to be put back. We learn from our parents, because we the teacher to our children. What we teach and what we say, we need to do it too. We tell our children no, and then our children call us out because we doing what we told them not to do. Then it should be that way, because we say no, but then we got to follow the rules. If it's electronics, everything puts in one place, and parents, we need to follow our own example that we tell our children. I want to leave you with that, Miss Leah.
Wow. I'm not often at a loss for words, but there's really nothing else that I could add to what you're sharing here. So you've done and accomplished so much. What can we expect to see from Chris as he rises up to thrive in 2025? What is on the horizon for you now that you've written this book, this incredible story that you published? What can we expect to see you here in the new year?
Mission is try to get this story out, Miss Leah. And once I'm getting a copy of the book, and I'm going to present the book to my church. When I get the book, uh, I'm going to present it to them so that they can read it. And hopefully, maybe that I'll be able to help those teen children at our church for the youth, to show them what a mistake I made, but it's over with now. I can live with it because it's out, and I know it, so I don't have to say I made a mistake anymore. I know I did, but I know God's forgiven me. So now the story's out. I can forgive myself and move forward. So that's what I'm gonna try to. That's the biggest thing, is putting it, getting it to the church. You buy the book, share it with your teens, take it to your church, let your pastor read it so you can share it with your youth. with the youth teens because they are precious as well too.
Thank you so much. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you for spending your time with us this afternoon or this morning. And we appreciate you so much. My name is Leah Garcia, financial strategist and insurance professional. And I'm really looking to grow my team and thrive. That's how I'm going to rise up and thrive in 2025. So if you're looking for additional income stream, if you're looking for passive income, if you're looking for an encore career, I would love to talk to you. If you're a storyteller, somebody that loves to be the life of the party, or you're somebody that's a teacher, you love to teach others, somebody that's just enthusiastic, somebody who is very competitive, maybe you have a background in sports, or somebody who's money motivated and you are open to a potential income stream, additional income stream, I would love to talk to you. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, everyone. And with that, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless. Thank you so much.
Hey there, I'm Leah Garcia. Have you ever wanted a career where you truly make a difference in people's lives? I'm building a team of driven financial and insurance professionals, people who want to help families and businesses protect, distribute, and transfer their wealth with confidence. If you're passionate about guiding others to achieve financial security, then you're exactly who I'm looking for. Join my supportive, growth-oriented environment and unlock your full potential. Ready to take the next step? Visit leahgarcia.io and let's start building your future together.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.